Welcome to Crafty Hints. I'm Chantel. I'm happy to have you here today for some fun Grinch DIYs. These will be very budget friendly. Here's my social media if you'd like to follow me. Let's get crafty. For this one, I started out with a Cricut decal. I'll link down below where I found these. I can't just give you my download, but I'll show you where I found them. They're free files. And this one did have 2 layers, so just showing you, I divided it in half and laid the black vinyl on top of the yellow. And to apply it to a mug, as you can see, it's tapered. So if you snip the sides of your transfer tape, that will help you apply it more easily, because that cup is sloping down as well as going around, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But you just have to be patient. Often if you start at the top, kind of working your way down, normally I won't fully place it down all the way on the bottom, but gosh, there was such static cling in my craft room, and it just grabbed it. But no worries, I can lift it up a little bit and make sure I have the exact placement I'd like. You could also use heat transfer vinyl, and that would stay a little bit longer. I do suggest, if you use regular vinyl, that you do hand wash it. I have tested some where, I've just stuck it on a mug, like on the side of it, and ran it through the dishwasher a couple of times, and it stayed just fine. I just worry about that heat cycle, like where you're drying it. Anyways, I'm just peeling this off now, and as you can see, he turns out great. Look at him. Oh, I think he's so fun. He kind of makes you smile, doesn't he? Okay, well, we're not done yet. We need to put something on the other side. And I wanted to make sure this stuck out on the other side. So if you're right-handed, that Grinch is facing you, but this is on the other side. I'm a real Grinch before my coffee. Now, I would probably suggest even just cutting the coffee off and doing that separately. Because of that small taper, I probably could have made the coffee type a little bit smaller. If you wanted to type this out yourself, I downloaded that Grinch font at dafont.com, and the font's name is Grinched. And then I just found another font and made it in all capital letters. Nothing special about that one. But yes, the taper and the roundness of the mug makes it just a little bit different than other items. But that's okay. I decided I was going to come back and fix the coffee. Now, I could have made it kind of look like, oh, nope, I got it. But I'm real and transparent for you and showing you this is how we fix it. I really like just putting the letter on the tip of my weeding tool and placing it that way. I found I get more precise placement as I do it this way. I think the Grinch is such a fun theme. I had so many other ideas, but I do have to share with you all. I have wanted to get out even more Christmas videos than I have, but I'm having some major back issues, so I'm getting them out just as quickly as I can for you. Here's a great playlist. It's being hosted by Krista's Crafty Life and co-hosted by Moners Market. We're all making Grinch-themed DIYs, so the playlist is below, and visit all of these ladies' channels. Okay, for this one, I took some green tissue paper that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and now I'm just going to attach it to this paper. And so I'm just measuring that. So this is one way you can kind of personalize some things if you don't have a Cricut. I'm using some double stick tape. You could just Scotch tape it down. I found this way works well. So I'll just use double stick tape. I'll flip it over and trim around it. But this way you can print right on the tissue paper. So you could personalize it with a saying. You could do, one side the Grinch, the other side, whatever saying you wanted, or someone's name. That would be another fun idea. So I'm starting out with some Mod Podge, and as you can see, I made the Grinch's face. This is the same one I did on the mug. So I'm just doing it all over for this one. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to Mod Podge this. I did one, and I'm just going to let it dry. Now this one, I'm going to put a little bit of Mod Podge at the top. And now I'm just going to center this on there. Kind of measure that up a little bit to see right where I want to place it. Now I'm just going to smooth it and tap it down very gently because the tissue paper is, awful soft. Usually the tissue paper will also have one side that's a little bit shinier and one side that's maybe a little bit more absorbent. So make sure that's the side that's sticking up. When you print it, just put it on draft. You don't want too much ink, just enough. And just finishing up that Mod Podge. Just tap out any wrinkles or anything. I'm doing it 2 different ways to kind of show you, if this way doesn't work as well for you. There's the other way of using it. So now it completely dried. I'm going to center him on there again. And now I'll put some parchment paper on top of it. And I'm going to use just a little iron here. You could use your home iron. Not, an issue there at all. And you just iron it. This reactivates that Mod Podge. Now, if you were happy with it just like this, you could leave it. I will put a layer on top of mine to just continue to protect it. Now, something that would be fun, and I was talking about this with my sister. She's a kindergarten teacher, and they were thinking about doing a book-themed Christmas tree. So each of the classes would have a different one. And they were thinking about doing the Grinch. And so one side could be the Grinch like this. The other side could have the student's name or your child's name. And then do a thumbprint heart, a thumbprint, one facing to the left, one facing to the right. And that way you have like when the Grinch's heart became bigger, etc. Thought that would be really cute. Okay, easiest way to trim this down and make a perfect smooth edge is to just get a nail file. I think it's so easy to handle it, and look how smooth and easy it goes. Now, I was trying to think of what to do to make some Grinch hair, and you may have seen that eyelash yarn. That's what I did. I threw it in there with a few drops of food coloring. You can see it sitting over there. I wish I had left it longer and have thought of it earlier, but I really wanted to finish this craft for you. And here they are. Aren't those adorable? I think they're just fun. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bit light. I would, again, let it sit in there longer or use a little bit more color, but good enough. I wanted you to kind of get the gist of what I was doing. It gives the idea of his hair that you've seen in a couple of the movies or the cartoon. So I'm just going to glue some of that together. And then I just have an ornament hanger. I really like those ornament hangers from Walmart. They're a little bit fancier and a little bit sturdier. Now I'm just clipping those loops. I thought, oh, his eyebrows are up a little bit closer to the top, so that one might be better. So I'll attach the hair right here. And then I will just put the hanger right on top of that. Now, again, you could put another piece of wood on the back and, do another one. So many different possibilities. Isn't he cute? I got this roll of felt at the Dollar Tree, and I snipped off part of a toilet paper roll, and we're going to make a little Santa hat. So I applied a little bit of glue, and we're just going to measure that. This long piece of felt will make several Santa hats. But I wanted to get it glued on before I decided how much I would trim off. Okay, so now we're just going to tuck it through. That'll give us a nice finished edge. If you've seen me make the yarn hats, the same thing you do with the yarn, pushing that through. So we'll push it all through and then clip it down. And I probably could have clipped it a little bit shorter, but this was good enough. And then I just doubled over a pipe cleaner, and that's going to help give me the bend and make sure it stays for my Santa hat. So I got its placement and just trimming that down. Okay, so now we'll get that pipe cleaner in there and start to fold it over and mold this into our Santa hat. So this would be cute as an ornament on its own. Now, you could use a faux fur, but I decided that this was just about the perfect width. Before, I was going to try and use some chenille yarn to go around there, but decided it didn't look as nice as I liked it. Okay, so I'm trimming this off here. And it's actually doubled over, so I'll be able to trim that in half, and I could make a couple hats out of it. Okay, so just trimming that down. And I'm going to grab this pack of pom-poms that I picked up at the Dollar Tree as well. And I'll grab the medium-sized one. Now we're just going to adhere that. It's already starting to look like Santa's hat. Okay, we'll glue that pom-pom on. Now we're going to take this ornament and add some glue. I would use parakeet or, gosh, there was another lighter color just by Apple Barrel. But I had grabbed this one, and it is one for enamel, so it's thick. I'd originally thought that I didn't have any more of those green mugs, and I might need to paint, the Grinch's figure on there. And so just a tip that you could do that. You could paint like the Grinch's face on there. They have several of them, and they're made for like ceramic mugs. So if you grab a mug from the Dollar Tree, you would be able to do that. You could paint a saying, you could have the kids paint them, and it isn't super expensive paint. I want to say it was like $1.67, something like that. So I did add a little bit of water to this, swirled it around, and kind of tapped it around a little bit. But I just let it sit. And then I just left it for the night and came back the next day. And it was just sitting there over it, but because it was hanging there and it's so thick, it wasn't dry yet. As you can see, that paint in there is still wet and good to use. So I just set it up right now so it could finish drying. And I snipped that just like I did on the Grinch's other face. So I found this on another one. I want to say this was free SVG download is the site. Another one I found was free SVG Planet. So these sites have a lot of them. You just have to be careful, with copyrights and things like that. I'm not selling these. I'm just making them for friends and family. So that is all right. But if you're selling them or sharing images, you just have to be very careful with that. Okay, so same thing. We've got a round side, so we've got to be careful here. And, just kind of move it around a little bit. And now I'll just get his little smile lines here. Oh boy, doesn't he look like he's up to something? So fun. Okay, just making sure it's all smooth and placed on there well. Now I'm going to take the Santa hat and just make sure that it sat there all right. Now I popped the wire out of the top of the ornament hanger and, got to close up that little gap there in the hat. Now I'm going to poke it right through the hat. That way my hanger is across the back. It's a little bit hidden, but when I put my ornament hanger on there, it'll be just fine. But it will just be attached right like this. And then we just squeeze that together and pop it inside. And then you're going to straighten the hat and make it all happy. I thought he was fun too. I do want to take a moment and wish you a very Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart, from Crafty Hints to you. And I do hope if you're enjoying this, you've given me a thumbs up and subscribed. All right, here's our last one. I took one of the ornaments from the Dollar Tree that splits in half. And one side will say, "I'm a real Grinch." And I found these Hershey Kisses at, I think it was either Walmart or Target. And they're Grinch Kisses. And yes, I leave my little blooper in there for you. My apostrophe and my I didn't quite make it on there. That's all right. Now we'll just get Grinch on there. Couple little snips to make sure it goes on more easily. I've also heard, and I have not tried it, but I've heard if you use a little spray bottle with some water and a tiny bit of soap, it will also help put it on there. I think it kind of acts like a water slide decal, sort of. Then you just push out the water. I haven't tried it. If you've tried that method, please let me know down below. I also am very interested to see which is your favorite out of all of these, or which one are you thinking about trying? Okay, so the dark green one had Max on it, so I've got one Max for each side, and then I'm trying to place them so the Grinch is facing out and lay down a couple hats here and there, and then I'll do the same on the other side. Now I slid in a piece of paper, and I'm going to hold it there and then flip it over so that they don't all fall, and then fasten it together. Now with all this chocolate in there, it's pretty heavy. So I used a little bit of packing tape and cut it in half to make little strips to go along the bottom so that it didn't pop open. It wasn't quite popping open, but I could just see from the weight it might. So just do that. But I thought that was cute. One side says, I'm a real Grinch. The other side says, without chocolate. Are you a chocoholic too? Oh, goodness. Yes, I do enjoy chocolate. Okay, so I've got some ribbon. I took off that silver ribbon that they had in there. I've got this little lime green. Found that at Walmart. It's 47 cents. I also got that red polka dotted ribbon. I want to say that's like $1.97. And that lighter's just about dead there. I wish I'd used my rechargeable one, but it wasn't right there at my fingertips. Okay, you kind of make an awareness bow and then fold it down and then tie it around the center. And I thought this just kind of remind me of the Whoville colors. I thought it would be fun. So I've got the green and the red, and yeah, I think it's fun together. I think it would also be fun to add the words maybe in a brighter color. Red or white might have popped just a little bit more. I thought with the green it might stand out more than it did, but that's all right. Dovetail the ends, and then I know this ribbon frays, so that's why I'm adding just a little bit of heat on the ends. Not enough to burn it, just to singe it just a tiny bit. Okay, now I'm gluing a bow on each side. Those would be really cute for something with Minnie Mouse too. If you were going to make like a Minnie Mouse ornament, that would be adorable. How cute is that? Did you guys enjoy this Grinch theme? Let me know if you'd like to see a couple others. I do have a couple other ideas that I could try to get to here. These were all so fun to do, and I hope you take some time for you to craft as well. And don't forget to watch the playlist. I think you'll enjoy it. Some amazing Grinch DIYs to come. Here's a couple other videos you might enjoy. Have a blessed day.